We're excited to sit down with two energy champions from the legislature. We have Representative Joe Orgeron, also serves as vice chair of the House Natural Resources Committee. Also happy to have Representative Jessica Domangue with us as well. We want to spend some time talking about CCS, Carbon Capture and Sequestration. We know we're going to be talking a lot about this in the next several weeks at the legislature. It's an extremely important topic for Louisiana communities. And so we wanted to sit down today and just get some of your thoughts, as you've both been very much engaged in not only the debate at the Capitol, but also the conversation with communities. And so I thought I would just start by asking both of you, why is CCS good for Louisiana?
I believe it's the continued evolution of Louisiana's oil and gas industry. I think in lots of committee meetings, I just basically said that as the global market and our customers in the global market change and want to see more of the products that we produce here in the state have a low carbon intensity, low carbon footprint, whatever they want to call it, Louisiana's prime to be in that position to be able to continue to produce, transport, refine, and then subsequently provide that lower carbon product out to the world. So it's evolution, and as I've said in committees, I just now see it as part and parcel of the whole industry that has powered our economy for many years.
Yeah, and we all know that CCS is now an extension of oil and gas. It's just like Rep. Orgeron said, it's the future. It's kind of where we are now. But for me, it's a lot more personal, and it's more about the fact that I ran for this office because I wanted to make Louisiana better, right? And we wanted to grow our economy. And we were tired of being last. And we were tired of our children leaving. We were tired of outright migration. And with Susan Bourgeois and with Governor Landry, with the legislature, we have had the most growth in, I know, my 43 years of life that I've ever seen in the state of Louisiana, $200 billion worth of investment. And yes, a lot of it is tied to CCS, and it's tied to carbon sequestration. And embracing that as a safe technology, and embracing that as a technology that's going to allow Louisiana to not only thrive in itself in the United States, but also thrive, as Joe Orgeron said, on a global and be a global competitor.
We both came in to the legislature being told, we used to have 7 congressional seats down to 6. We may go down to 5 if the outgression of population still happens. We need to change it. So everything we've been doing with lowering income tax and crime, reducing crime, has been to try to bring in more industry. And as she said, Susan Bourgeois has helped do that. LED has done that to the tune of $100 billion. The 2 platinum projects with Meta and Hyundai explicitly. And in that pipeline of 100 billion, 180 something projects currently being looking in Louisiana, she says 75 to 80% of them say that low carbon energy or low carbon products is some kind of way part of why they're looking at Louisiana. So if we're to keep our kids here and keep jobs here and stop the outflow and bring in people from other parts of the nation into Louisiana, I think that's a big component of continuing with this industry.
Right, and Tommy, look, my kids, it was funny, my eldest daughter, I was talking about CCS at home. We were talking about things going on in the legislature, and she says, "Mom, what are you talking about?" And I said, "I'm talking about saving your future, baby." And she's like, "Okay, Mom, golly," but it's true. Like, we're here, we're fighting for Louisiana's future, and now we've been given a golden opportunity to really just thrive. And so that's why I look at this the way I do.
I think you both make a good point. We all love Louisiana. We want opportunities for our kids to be able to stay here at home. We know that the oil and gas industry has traditionally been about a quarter of the state's economy, and we believe if we grow that, we can create those opportunities. There has been a lot of discussion about what what comes next. There's been a lot of discussion about what comes next, and to your point, we've seen several announcements already. However, we also know, because CCS is moving a little slower, there's been at least one project, I believe in Beauregard Parish, that has been lost. We don't want that to happen. We want the projects announced to be developed here for the success of Louisiana. You both come from the Bayou region and have had significant oil and gas and industry investment over decades. What would you tell a community in Louisiana who maybe is experiencing or welcoming industry for the first time about the benefits that could come to their community by being open to oil and gas and energy investments?
You want me to take it first? Or?
Go ahead.
You know, I come from local government before I came into the legislature, and oil and gas, we have many companies. We have Chevron, we have Exxon, we have many companies in our area. But just they're good community partners. They not only provide resources to the community as far as giving back and as far as assisting with local government investments in the community, or just being part of your local school's football team or whatever it is. They're good partners with the community, but they also are good partners with disaster response, or they're good partners with just building up your community. And so just I would encourage people who are new to industry coming in to have those conversations about, if something happens and they hear scary things, what is your plan, right? And to know that there is a plan for if worst case scenario were to happen, then we're going to go ahead and we have a plan to be able to stop that. And so I think that's really important for these community members to hear and to see, because they're only being told scary things. And so just to be able to have that conversation one-on-one of like, what is your plan? Like, how are you going to support our community? And it's worked so well. And we've had such great partners in South Louisiana that I'm very assured that the rest of the state will also have that same partnership.
It's their opportunity to, they probably drilled a few exploratory wells in central Louisiana, didn't find any hydrocarbons, just found large porous areas with nothing in it. And this is their opportunity to be able to get in on the next evolutionary step of oil and gas production in Louisiana. So that's, for them, that's what I see as their economic opportunities for their communities.
I spent some time with a lot of global energy leaders, national energy leaders, leaders from our state in the industry in Texas here recently, talking about the future of the energy industry. And a theme that came up in every conversation was that Louisiana is poised to be a key player in not only the national, but the global energy picture. Right. And I think that's important because that means opportunity for Louisiana. The governor made some announcements about the future of energy for Louisiana as well. That is bringing a lot of excitement. Joe, why do we need CCS to be part of the future global energy picture?
All right. I take a little bit of offense by you saying like Louisiana, a door is opening. We've always been the energy dominant state down here, for all time. But as we move forward, my background in physics and nuclear physics, I believe that that will continue to play a small part in powering our country, but never reducing the amount of hydrocarbon productions we're doing and the amount of refining. Louisiana's refineries will stay at 100% for the foreseeable future, and we will continue to produce hydrocarbons in order to produce all the products that come from it. Not only the high volumetric products of diesel and aviation fuel and gasoline, but more specifically those precursor products that go into pharmaceuticals and fertilizer, agricultural materials, and food services. and plastics. And as we do that, those precursor products go out into the world, and in those markets, they're demanding that it gets produced in a low carbon format. And so as long as hydrocarbons are part of the global economy, I want Louisiana to be on a path to take us to the very end. And embracing carbon capture is going to be part of that path.
Embracing carbon capture builds on a century's worth of oil and gas investment in the state that has just brought significant community and economic benefits, I think, is what we see. Jessica, there has been a lot of passion in the discussion of CCS on all sides. Tell me, why are you so passionate about this issue?
So we touched on that a little bit earlier, but I'm so passionate about it because I ran for office so that we can grow Louisiana. I see this as an opportunity to grow Louisiana. We are at the forefront, and everyone was excited when Trump was elected. We were drill, baby, drill, America first, all these sayings, right? And we're given the opportunity, and CCS is part of that. And we know that it's safe. We know that it's reliable. We know that our companies and the companies participating are going to be good partners with the community. But we need to really look at the way this is going to affect us on globally, right? And to look back at the Trump administration and to look at Trump's initiative of, he wants us to be America first. Well, he never said America only, right? He never said America first is America only. America first means that we're not going to be partners with the rest of the world. He just wants America to be the most dominant, right? And this is our opportunity to make Louisiana and the United States dominant in LNG, oil production, and everything else that goes with it. And so that's why I'm so passionate about this, because we have a president who came in and he had this America First initiative. We've got a governor now that's on the same page, and he wants Louisiana to be prime to grow. And so then we've got our children as well. And so all of those play in together for me to be able to just be a driver for everything.
Louisiana is in a unique place because we have the resources, we have the oil, we have the gas, we have the infrastructure, we have these great ports that sit across South Louisiana that allow us to reach global markets. Mm-hmm. I think CCS, along with the continued growth of the entire industry, mm-hmm. is really in taking Louisiana to the place of reaching those markets around the world. And as I've said many times, those leaders in countries around the world that need more energy, that need more low carbon manufactured products, look to America's energy leadership. In Louisiana, there is no American energy leadership without Louisiana being an energy leader as well. And so I think that's important. A lot of talk and using the term eminent domain, many ways to scare people in my mind about what is coming with carbon capture and future growth in the industry. You've both worked with the oil and gas industry in your communities, not just your districts, but literally in your neighborhoods and in the streets that you live.
For pipelines.
That's right.
On property that I own. Yeah.
What has been your experience working with the industry, existing with the industry, with the use of eminent domain? How has that conversation or relationship worked between the industry and your local communities?
Well, first of all, from committees last year, what I said was, now as we evolve so that low carbon solutions is part of our hydrocarbon production, I want the carbon pipelines to be just like natural gas pipelines and crude pipelines. I want no different treatment from those that we do for oil and gas. So I just said it several times. It's now part and parcel of the package.
So I see the eminent domain conversation as the moving target of what's the next argument against CCS. And right now it's been eminent domain. And I can tell you that the stealing my land narrative is not true. I actually called my clerk's office. I called last month. I spoke to our clerk and I asked her, can you get me all of the instances that eminent domain was used for oil and gas and pipelines in Terrebonne Parish over the last 50 years. And if there's a map, I've got it actually on my social media page, and it shows all the pipelines in Louisiana. And Terrebonne Parish has them all over. I mean, literally all over. And so I said, Jody, how many times has eminent domain been used in Terrebonne Parish over the last 50 years for oil and gas? She called me back a few hours later, and she said, Jessica, eminent domain has been used 5 times in the last 50 years for oil and gas. And I've got friends who own land in Terrebonne Parish who have pipelines on their property. They're like 1,000 feet buried, and they still have access to their land. They still get to use their land. No one stole their land. And they were also paid a very good compensation for allowing someone to use that land to be able to put that pipeline in. So once again, we talk about good partners and good partners that oil and gas is. Oil and gas has always been a good partner with Terrebonne Parish as far as the infrastructure, as far as pipelines and things like that. So I just wish that the stealing my land people, or the people who are kind of saying those things, would call their clerk's office and find out, because I think they'll be very surprised to see that it's just not happening, and that oil and gas has been a good partner for many, 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 many years in the entire state of Louisiana.
When you leave the legislature, what do you hope has been accomplished for the state in the energy space?
We've stopped the outflow of people. We're bringing more people into the energy market for energy dominance in Louisiana and the nation. That we've continued the process of growing Louisiana.
I agree with Joe. We continue the process of growing Louisiana, but we also give these small municipalities who don't have a lot of revenue right now and don't have a huge ad valorem tax base to be able to then have the opportunity to grow their communities, to grow their schools, to grow their parks, to grow their fire districts, right? All those things that that your ad valorem taxes go to. I would hope that these small municipalities would now have an opportunity to grow like a lot of other places. And Terrebonne Parish too. I want Terrebonne Parish to grow as well. And so for the entire state, I just think this is a wonderful opportunity.
And doing it as safely and technologically advanced as possible.
Yes.
Lowest TRIR, right? That's it.
Well, I appreciate both of you not only talking with us today, but being leaders in the legislature for the oil and gas industry, for the energy industry. You're champions, and I know you not only lead when it comes to policy, you lead in your communities in support of and in coordination working with the industry. And I hope that this conversation sheds a little bit light on the great opportunities that lie ahead for Louisiana's oil and gas industry, the future energy of our state. It is an exciting time. Mm-hmm. It's been 100 years of great energy investment in Louisiana. And I am confident there are many, many more years, hopefully a century more worth of years to come. So thank you both.
Thank you.
Tommy.